What's up, guys? BARRYGAMING here, back with some more Infinite Magicraid, and today we have a couple updates. One is we've already kind of talked about the debuff effect of bleed and poison being changed, which is going to be part of the infographic we show you guys. But there's going to be 5 heroes that have free regressions coming this week because they're getting some changes. In case you guys don't want to use the hero anymore, they just give you a free regression for any of these heroes. So let's jump right into it. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get going. So to start off, I'm going to show you guys this infographic that they posted. We've already pretty much talked about the bleed, the poison debuff changes, so we're not going to really talk about those today. But down the bottom here, you'll notice there's 5 heroes: Natalie, Nid Rold, Elleena, Hisaro, and Agatha. Agatha, the new hotness, basically. She's decent, not amazing, but there are going to be some hero adjustments to them, so we are going to talk about that right now, and there should be a free regression coming with them as well. So let's jump right into it and see exactly what each one of their changes are. We'll start with Natalie. So yes, there will be a free regression event going on with these heroes, but first up we need to take a look at a couple changes. Natalie's basic attack is basically getting a slight buff. Essentially it is going from a 30 up to 70% chance to a 40 to 80% chance to inflict a layer of bleed right there. Her, where is it, energy burst, her big active skill here is getting a kind of a complete rework. Instead of what you see here, it's going to be there is a 100% chance to inflict 1 layer of bleed on all enemies for 2 turns. Afterwards, deals 140% attack damage to all enemies with a 60% chance at maxed out to reduce their effect res by 50%. So just a little bit of changes there. I think some of it might just be the wording of it too for what they're changing. She is getting a couple exclusive changes though. Exclusive 1, this is that one right there. She's one that everything is on her passive, which is just crazy. Before it was there's a 50% chance to reset the duration of bleed. It changes to there is a 50% chance to reset the duration of the target's bleed when Bloodthirsty Sickle deals damage, which is okay, her first active skill right there. So that's going to be the change on exclusive 1. Exclusive 2, again, is right here. This one is changing to Natalie restores her HP by up to 70% of her max HP based on the number of bleed layers the target has when she deals direct damage to enemies under the bleed status. If the target has more than 5 layers of bleed, the restored HP amount is still based on 5 layers. The one thing I'll notice here, again, it just kind of feels like some wording changes. Deals direct damage. Yeah, some of it's just like adding her name in, removing some words. I don't know. And then of course her third one's here as well. This one is changing to for every 1 layer of bleed on Natalie's Natalie inflicts on an enemy, she gains a layer of feverish blood, increasing her attack by 1% up to a total of 50%. The buff cannot be removed and will not be removed when the owner dies or a wave is transitioned. Now, that sounds really strong. So those are the Natalie changes. Let's move over to Hisaro. So Hisaro is only getting 1 change here, and that's going to be with his active skill, Open Wounds. This ability is changing to deals the same attack range all the way up from 400 to 520% attack damage to a single enemy and inflicts severe wound on the target for 2 turns. Meanwhile, restore self HP by 20% of self max HP. So it's a little bit of a survivability buff here. It feels like they just took out a lot of the unnecessary wording on this hero, but not much change. I don't know. We'll have to see on that one. Nid Rold does have a few changes coming his way. His basic attack starting off here is going to be, looks like nerfed, so to speak. So currently this ability starts at 100% and goes up to 140%. This is changing down to 80% to start with 100% at max. To each single enemy or to a single enemy with a, okay, so they're upping the chance of this to inflict a layer of bleed. So they're lowering the direct damage, but then they're buffing the bleed portion. So instead of a 30% chance flat, it starts at 40% and it actually goes up to 60%, meaning he has a much higher chance to apply a bleed, which again, I guess that's pretty good. And then his passive skill is changing to 80% of the direct damage dealt by Nid Rold is considered bleed damage and will be affected by mastery, but cannot land a crit. Besides, Nid Rold deals 27% more bleed damage. Okay. So right here is 15. I guess it still starts at 15 and goes up to 27. It currently does what? 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, it still goes. So the percentage of the bleed is still the same. I guess the only difference is that like 80% of it is going to be bleed instead of 60%. Well, this one says, meanwhile, there's a 60% chance to, whereas now it sounds like it's a 100% chance at 80% of the total damage dealt. So that is really interesting. That's pretty much the previous exclusive 2 being added in, but removing the chance and making it 100%. So I guess that's a big buff right there. Exclusive 1 works on Sword Mastery here. That is getting a complete change where it says Nid Rold casts Sword Mastery again up to 3 times for every 1 enemy under bleed status after casting Sword Mastery. The damage dealt by the extra Sword Mastery is halved for each following cast. So I mean, that seems like a pretty cool change. And then exclusive 2, since that is getting lumped into the main passive skill, is being changed to Nid Rold additionally increases self-attack by 0.15% up to a total of 15% for every 1% of mastery above 20% that he has. So if you build him from mastery, he'll have quite a bit. So yeah, pretty good buff, I think, overall. More utility, 100% chance, less hit effect needed. Very, very good. Now, Elleena only has 1 change right here, and that's going to be with her basic attack, Dual Light Slash. So currently, this is a 60% attack all the way up to 100. She's getting the same effect as Nid Rold, where it's instead going from 60% 80%, so less direct damage. However, there is up to a 50% chance, it starts at 30, goes up to 50% to inflict a layer of bleed. So again, same thing that Nid Rold had, she's getting, but besides that, nothing else changes with her. Now, Agatha did recently get a rework, so I think they're kind of not happy with the way her damage and everything ended up being. We'll have to see how this turns out. So I haven't read this one. Let's see what it does. So right now, this ability here is going to get a slight buff right here. So instead of starting at 8%, it's going to start at 12% instead of capping and go up to 16%. So it's going to do more damage based on her HP. I think the thing that they might have noticed is we did a video comparing a crit attack build versus like an HP build, and it turned out the crit attack build was just superior for damage. I think they're trying to make it more so you want to build her for HP and have that HP deal just as much damage as the very offensive build, with a higher chance of dealing more damage with crit chance and stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. We'll have to see how it is. Bloody Spiral is getting a buff as well. So it starts at 34% and maxes at 40. It's now going to start at 50% and go up to 62% of her max HP. So yeah, I think going full HP is going to be the way to go moving forward. And then on top of that, restoring her HP instead of 10%, it's going to restore her HP by 20%, which is a pretty big buff. After that, we have Aristocratic Style getting a buff as well. So this one I think is just getting additional text in general, potentially. Maybe not. No, so hold on. They reworded it a little bit. Let's just read it out. Agatha gains immunity to severe wound and HP burning and has a 100% chance to transfer shield and heal enemy gained by enemy targets to herself. Oh my god, that's part of her normal skill. So instead of 26%, this is 100%. Oh my god. And then it says this chance reduces, so it now reduces 50, 46, 42, 38, 34% at the lowest. It reduces 34% for every 1 layer of shield or heal transferred and will be reset at the beginning of Agatha's turn. So it starts out at 100 and then it goes down for the number of shields and healing effects she transfers. So that's really good. Much higher chance. I like that. And then lastly, Scarlet Tornado is getting a straight up buff as well. Damage, the AoE damage started at 7%, went up to 8.5% previously, now starts at 10%, goes up to 13%. So those are very, very big, but that's not it. Because of that exclusive 1 part changing a little bit, this is now going to say Agatha gains a shield by 40% of herself max HP at the beginning of each wave. That part is the same. However, now it says Agatha gains Bloody Shield by 20% of self max HP at the beginning of each turn if she does not have a shield. Each turn. My goodness. Bloody Shield cannot be stolen or removed. Agatha is immune to all control effects so long as she has a shield. E1 is like god tier levels right there. So not only does she get it at the beginning of each wave for 40%, she then gets 20% at the end of each turn if she doesn't have a shield. That is just absolutely crazy. I'm really hoping building her straight up HP is the way to go because I feel like that's the way she was intended. So let me know what you guys think. Honestly, I cannot wait to test out Agatha before anything else. I'm going to jump on Lord Eric's account. We're going to set her up with that correct HP status and test to see is crit attack still better or does this HP change really make her stronger? E1 is going to be absolutely huge. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you guys next time.